Great, welcome everybody to this kind of summer solstice practice. It's the summer solstice tomorrow, the official time when it's the longest day, isn't it? So when is 10:13. I can't quite process that with my head, how the longest day is at a particular time. But anyway, the official time of the summer solstice is in the morning tomorrow. So, but we're in that energy, we're really in this maximum solar energy of the whole year where, we receive most solar energy. And if you think about it, we're all definitely solar powered. So everything we eat is solar powered. Everything comes from the vegetables, the greens, and the animals take the greens. So we are solar powered. So it's a time to celebrate. I don't know about you, but I'm absolutely exhausted. We're in a huge renovation project at the moment, so I'm really tired. So what I thought we'd do, I like to teach from where I'm at and hope it resonates with at least some of you. Often when we do summer solstice practices, it's really fiery, it's really like, hello sunshine. There's no sun at all here. I know some of you have got sun, but I just thought we'd focus on a kind of a gentler practice, and with this idea that even when it's cloudy, even when it's raining cats and dogs in Glasgow, the sun is still shining behind that. So it's just that kind of optimism. The sun never stops shining. It's just we don't always feel it, and we can still be nourished by it. So we will do a kind of solar plexus heart opening practice, but we'll do it perhaps a little bit less fire and a little bit more kind of coolness, to find that balance and just think about the solar energy in a different way. So let's start with a front opener, but we'll do it in that kind of more restorative way. So take a bolster or a brick or anything else that you might have to elevate the chest. I'm going to use a bolster. So if you've got a bolster or a rolled up firm blanket or a very firm pillow, or you can wrap a blanket around a rolled up mat to make it more like a bolster, you bring it into the sacrum or more or less to the sacrum and lie the spine up the bolster. If you need extra support under the head, take it, a pillow or a block. And if it's too strong, the other thing you can do is take a brick and place it behind the space behind the heart, the shoulder blade area, and lie back on that brick so it's kind of crossways across the body. Okay, so either of those or any other option. Hi Kaz, welcome. We're doing our solstice kind of themed heart opening practice, but in a more gentle way. Okay, so just get yourself set up in a passive front opener on a bolster, on a brick, whatever you have. If for any reason it doesn't feel good, if you've got lower back issues, then just lie on the floor, no problem. But let's just take a few moments to arrive and just consider where you're at on this summer solstice. I always think of these moments in nature's calendar where something's happening, like the equinoxes and the solstices, just as a really good time to reflect. It's like they're a still point moment to reflect on where we're at. And also, they're an opportunity for transition, for transformation. They're like little mini portals that we can step through if we wish. So just consider what is present for you at this summer solstice, which is actually tomorrow, but we're in that energy. And what's kind of most present for you? What issues are you dealing with? What are you feeling good? Are you feeling celebratory and in your power? Have you got that real solar fiery energy of feeling joyful, uplifted, like anything's possible? Or are there clouds in front of your sun? Can you not particularly see the sun? Are there some things shrouding that solar energy? And what's your energy like? Do you feel fully powered, or do you feel quite low energy? So just tuning in. And whilst we're doing this, we're just allowing, the legs can be any position, by the way, straight, bent, Baddha Konasana. While we're doing this, we're just allowing the body to soften gradually into the support beneath us. So we're allowing the skin of the back soften and kind of mold itself around that support rather than resisting and tensing away. We're allowing the shoulder tips to be drawn down towards the ground by gravitational pull. And this helps to stretch and open the chest, the upper chest, gently. And feeling the back soften, feeling the chest open. And feeling this as nourishment, opening the heart, opening the solar plexus. Relax the jaw and the face. And then if you haven't already, just become aware of your breathing pattern. And when you are ready, just start to deepen the breath, deepen and regulate the breath. Even inhales, even exhales. Each exhale allows a deeper softening, a deeper melting of the skin of the back. And each inhale brings in new space, fresh prana. And just remember, solar plexus literally means sun panel. So it's like with every breath in, we're breathing in that solar energy, whether it's seen with the visible eye or non-seen, but it's there. So we breathe it in, power ourselves up. And then for the last few breaths, if you wish, you can take your arms overhead. If this feels uncomfortable in the shoulders for any reason or anywhere else, then just keep the hands on the ground. But otherwise, either dynamically stretching back, or you could hold the opposite elbow. You could bring the hands to the floor if available, or just really kind of dynamic in the arms, stretch back. But just feel like you're opening that chest cavity very actively here if you're choosing to take the arms back, and then breathe even deeper into that space you're creating. Fill yourself up with space as you breathe in. And exhale, release. And when you're in this full stretch position and you're exhaling to release and soften the back, just see if you can still find that softening, even when we're being a bit more dynamic. One more deep breath here. And then if you took the arms back, just bring them forward again. I'm going to come off. So for me, I like to just roll to one side. You can just press through the hands, bring yourself straight up, but easier perhaps is just to roll to one side, press yourself up and then move your prop out the way. And come to a seated position. And so hopefully you feel, even just with that simple, like sometimes we don't need to be super dynamic to get a big opening. So you should feel like you can breathe quite fully in the chest now after that opening. So let's just explore that with a little bit of pranayama. So make sure the chest is free. And we'll just take the square breath, breathing in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold out for 4. We'll just do a few rounds of that and some single nostril breath, and then we'll get moving. Okay, so let's just synchronize the breath. So just when you're ready, taking a full breath in and out. And again, a full breath in, fill yourself up and out. Now breathing in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, hold out, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. One more. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Just release. Breathe fully, consciously. We'll do 5 rounds of Nadi Shodhana, single nostril breath. So take your mudra with your right hand or left if you're left-handed. Tuck first 2 fingers in, extend thumb and last 2 fingers. Press the right nostril with the thumb. Exhale fully out the left nostril. Seal the left nostril. We begin on the right side. Breathe in, right. Hold both. Pause. Breathe out left. Hold both and pause. Breathe in left. Hold both, pause. Breathe out right. Hold both, pause. Breathe in right. Hold both nostrils, pause. Breathe out left. Hold both, pause. Breathe in left. Hold both, pause. Breathe out right. Pause. Breathe in right. Pause. Out left. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Pause. In left. Pause. Out right. Now just do 2 more rounds on your own as best you can. Don't worry if you get muddled up, but you can explore the pauses a bit longer if you wish. Stay relaxed. So you start on the right and end on the right. Try and keep the inhales and the exhales more or less regular. Even do an internal count if it helps. Relax the shoulders. When you're complete, don't rush at all if you're still going. Just release the hands so I know, and just breathe consciously through both nostrils. Lovely. Okay, and then when you're ready, just bring your hands behind you. Let's just take another front body opener. So fingertips point forward or back if you prefer, but just arch the spine. So lift the chest. Just doing some kind of more gentle but effective heart openers, solar plexus openers. You can keep the chin in, you can lift the chin slightly, but just breathe into that front body here. If you wish, for the last few breaths, you can lift the hips, but it's totally optional. Just to get into the thighs, hips, or keep the buttocks on the floor. One more breath. And then bring yourself up to vertical. Find your way to hands and knees, either rock straight over the knees or bring the legs around the side. Come to tabletop with the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. And let's mobilize the spine. So just working with the feet as well. So as you inhale, tuck the toes under and come into the cow, looking up, drawing the shoulders, feel it as that front open. And as you exhale, touch the tops of the feet down, bring the chin to the chest, stretch the spine up. So just working with the highly sensitive nerve endings of the feet as we mobilize the spine. So just keep changing between those positions. So toes tucked under into the inhale. Feel this as another gentle front body opener. Exhale, toenails tap down, chin to chest. A couple more. Synchronizing breath and movement. And then after your last exhale, just come back to a child's pose for a moment, and up to you if you want to keep the knees wide or together, keep the hands stretched forward. Just take some breaths here, breathing into the back, hips. Really breathe fully. So we're really focusing on a really nourishing practice that's going to power us up. And sometimes the thing that's going to power us up, especially if we are super low energy, is a more gentle practice. And we learn to tune into what our body needs, that wisdom, what is nourishing for me this evening. So I will give you options. If you do want to work more dynamically, you can, but really listen to your body. Okay, so coming up to tabletop again from child's pose. Let's just come down to that Ashtangasana. So keeping the hips over the knees, keep the elbows in and bring the chin and the chest down. Keep the shoulders away from the ears and just pause in this position. I know some people, this is very uncomfortable. If you have a very large chest area, you just press through the hands a little bit more so you're not leaning all your weight on your chest. One more breath, drawing shoulders and elbows back. And then inhale, slide the legs out behind you, keep the hands underneath the shoulders and just come up to a really baby cobra. So we're not using our hands at all. You can hover the hands off the floor if you wish to check. We're using our back muscles to open the chest here. Shoulders and elbows drawing back. Lots of space between ears and shoulders. Press the pubic bone down, press the tops of the feet down, relax the buttocks, breathe fully. One more breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, we're going to come up again. Use your back muscles to come up, not your hands, and hover back in that baby cobra. But this time, after a couple of breaths in the baby cobra, you can then press through the hands and maybe come up a little bit higher, but we're just warming up. So you might not come to full upright position yet. Relax the buttocks, keep awareness in the toenails, tops of the feet, pubic bone, and keep drawing those shoulders back, keeping the elbows in. One more breath. Exhale, release. Come down. Bring the hands off the mat now and on the fingertips. So you're up on the fingertips and the elbows are high. Your elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. And this time we do press through the hands. You inhale, press through the hands and come up. Just as high as feels okay. This is much deeper in the lower back. So you might be quite bent elbow. Draw the shoulders back. Breathe into that very open chest here. I like that this is sometimes called intimidating cobra. Channel your intimidating cobra. Big breaths. Exhale, press through the hands to help you come down with control. Bring the hands to the side, palms up. And we're just going to come up to Shalabhasana. So when you're ready, inhale, lift head, chest, feet, hands. Stretch the crown of the head forward, toes back. Just a couple of breaths. We're going to repeat this little sequence a few times. Exhale, release. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Inhale, either baby cobra or if you're ready, more of an upward dog. And exhale, come back to downward dog. So downward dog or child's pose. You know, if you do really need that yin kind of energy tonight. I was wondering how on earth I was going to teach tonight because I was so tired, but actually I'm feeling energized just by being here with you lot. So it's sometimes surprising where we can be resourced from. So maybe you have to really tune in to what the body's up for. It might not be what your mind expects. One more deep breath here, relaxing the head and neck. Okay, and I'm just going to come back forward. So either through plank or bring the knees down and come through tabletop. So you're going to arrive with your shoulders over the wrists, with the knees on the floor or off the floor. We're just going to spend a couple of breaths here, pressing the floor away, widening the space between the shoulder blades. So almost a little bit of a cat spine, elongating the tailbones. Legs are super strong if you're in the plank, heels drawing back. And then again, bring the knees down if you're in the plank as you inhale. The exhale takes you to Ashtangasana. Keep the hips high, bring the chest down. And inhale, just come to that baby cobra. So we'll just take a couple of breaths in each position. So hands aren't being used at all here. Exhale, release. Take a moment. Inhale, come up again. Don't use the hands, use the back muscles to lift the chest. And then this time, press the hands down and come up a little bit higher. Draw those shoulders back, open the chest. Exhale, lower down. Take the hands off the mat on the fingertips, elbows point up towards the ceiling. Press through the hands as you inhale, lift yourself up. Elbows can stay as bent as you need here. Draw the shoulders back, open the chest, breathe fully into, feel how this is opening the chest and the thymus area, the solar plexus area, the belly, the whole front body, super open. Relax the buttocks, exhale, release. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And then inhale either back to that baby cobra or tuck the toes and inhale into upward dog. Exhale into downward dog. Relax the neck. Take a few breaths in downward dog or child's pose. And just one last time. So bring the knees down. Come forward either to plank or knees down to tabletop. Pause in plank or tabletop. If you're in plank, firm the thighs, draw the heels back. Everybody lift the belly and the ribcage up towards the spine. Push the floor away actively to feel the upper back broaden, space between the shoulder blades widen. And then on your next exhale, lower the knees, Ashtangasana, or you can just lower straight down to the mat if you wish. And then inhale to your baby cobra. Just hover the hands so we know we're using our back muscles. Take a couple of breaths here, really drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Breathe fully. On your exhale, release. Just take a breath. And then on your next inhale, again, hover the hands if you need, but make sure you're only using the back to lift up. But then once you're up in baby cobra, you can press through the hands and come a little bit higher. And maybe each round you might find the body's ready to go a little bit deeper, but don't force it. We are still in the kind of warm-up phase, so don't blast through your edge here. Breathing deep, exhale lower, so you push through your hands to control the descent. Take the hands off the mat, and widen the hands, the elbows point up, TP the fingers, press through the fingertips, up to intimidating cobra. Draw those shoulders back, open the chest. I love this posture, how it feels in the front body. If it's too much for your lower back, of course, stay lower. Breathe into that front body. Exhale, release. Hands underneath the shoulders, either baby cobra or tuck the toes, inhaling upward dog, exhaling downward dog. And after that bend, downward dog should feel really good, or child's pose to just open up that lower back again. So breathe into the lower back. Find space in the lower back after the compression. Relax the neck and the jaw. Anchor, root down through hands and feet. And then at the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Feet underneath the hips, just take a forward fold here. Again, just countering all that back bending. Hold the ankles, hold the toes, hold the elbows, whatever you like here. But just let the legs be your pillars of support, your feet, your really anchored grounding points, so that the torso can just relax. Space between the vertebra, neck long, crown of the head descending and drawn towards the earth. Great, and then bring the hands to the hips, take a little bend in the knees, inhale, come up with a flat back. And we're going to focus on the sun salutations as a kind of honoring of the solstice energy, but we'll take it quite steady. So just let it become a really kind of meditative. We'll do a few more than usual. We used to do about 3, but we're going to do between 5 and 8. I'm going to see how it goes. And just really get into a flow and don't push it too hard, okay? So just start into Tadasana. If at any point you need to stop, just come into child's pose, no problem. But otherwise, we're just going to keep going. So starting in Tadasana and just feeling this opening of the chest in Tadasana. So there's a sense of lifting the sternum, lifting the upper chest, drawing the chin down to meet that slightly, dropping the tailbone, connecting to your core, your inner power. Solar energy is about that inner power, grounding through your feet, earthing that power. So feel very solid in Tadasana. And then just take it easy. So when you're ready, inhale, raise the hands and look up. Opening the chest to the sun, to the sky. Exhale, fold, drop the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen, open that front body again, and exhale, step back to plank or tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, lower, knees on or off the floor. Inhale, come to a back bend, open that front body again, and exhale back to downward dog or child's pose. Take a few breaths, quality, not quantity. Really come internal and be with your breath. And let your practice be a moving meditation, a moving prayer. You know, we can send gratitude to the sun. It powers life on this planet. We can use our sun salutations, greeting the sun, as our kind of gratitude prayer, gratitude meditation for that which powers us, that which gives life, the sun. At the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step, or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, we look up, open the front body. Exhale, we fold, drop the head. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands. You might want to take the fingertips back slightly to open the front body here, and exhale, mountain pose. And we keep flowing. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, open the chest. Exhale, step or jump back, plank or tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down, knees on or off the floor. Inhale, open the front body, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Relax the neck, deep breaths. Stay connected to your breath to keep in the present moment. Breathe as deeply as you can through the practice, through the sequence. At the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, open the chest, look up. Exhale, drop the head. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands. Look up. Exhale, mountain pose. And we keep flowing. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, plank, tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend, upward dog, cobra. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose. Release the neck. Breathe deep. So we're going to do a few more sun salutations than usual. There is a practice at the solstice to do 108. I've done it myself a few times, 108 sun salutations. So you're getting off quite lightly. Breathing deep here. Fill the body with space as you breathe in, especially the back. And at the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, drop the head, fold in. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. And another one. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, plank or tabletop. Inhale here, pushing the floor away. Exhale, lower down, elbows in as you do so. Inhale, open that front body, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. Or child's pose. Breathe deep. So notice we usually do 3. Now we're going beyond that. How is the body responding? How is the mind responding? Stay with it, but rest if you need. Let this be a nourishing practice. And at the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands, maybe fingertips back slightly, open the front body. Exhale, hands to the side. Number 5, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, back to plank or tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend, shoulders back, chest forward. Exhale, downward dog or child's pose. Drop the head, relax the neck, breathe deep. We'll just notice what's coming up for you as we keep flowing. See if you can breathe through it, but listen to the wisdom of your body. If it's the mind resisting, we can usually breathe through it. No, we've got it, that we're massively powerful, way more powerful than our mind thinks. But if it's the body talking, then we listen and we rest. Try and discern between body resistance and mind wisdom, body wisdom and mind resistance. End of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold, drop the head. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands, open the chest. Exhale, hands to the side. We're going to go for 8, I've decided. So again, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back to plank or tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, lower. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward dog. If you're struggling, if there's a lot of resistance, just remind yourself, I'm letting my practice be a prayer or a meditation of gratitude for life. And this can sometimes give us a burst of energy, bringing it to a higher level, higher consciousness around it. It can give us energy. Breathe deep. At the end of the exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale to look up. Exhale, lower. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands. And exhale, Tadasana. We've got 2 more. You've got this. Feel your power. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Drop the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back to the plank or tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe deep. Breathe through any mind stories of resistance, boredom, anger, whatever's coming up. If anything's coming up, breathe through it. Fill your body with breath. And at the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the hands, open the chest, look up. Exhale, hands to the side. And I'm going to let you do the last one on your own. Again, if you get muddled up, don't worry, do the best you can. But really go internal, be with your breath. Your final moving meditation here. And if you need a different count, you can just do what you want here. Let this be your personal expression, personal prayer. Take longer in downward dog if you need, and put variation in if you need. Really nice, everybody. So yeah, feel free to take a bit longer in downward dog. If you're feeling it, feel free to come out pretty much straight away. If you're feeling it, just listen to your body. And we're all moving at a different pace. So when you come back, just pause into a very conscious Tadasana whilst everybody catches up. So take those still going, do not rush. Really listen to your body. You'll know when it's time to move. So just pause in Tadasana. Feel your feet. Let your energy settle. Well done. You did it. It was almost 108. We just missed off the 100. Okay, so just notice how you feel. Definitely the blood moving, the heart rate raised. Just take a moment to let that settle. And then we'll use this energy again for just some gentle but effective front openers. So from here, keep your right foot forward and step your left foot back on the ball of the left foot. And you can bring the hands to the hips if you wish, just to help you come into the posture, dropping the tailbone, but then raise the hands. So the high lunge, this posture, is a lovely front opener. So you may feel that as we dynamically stretch the fingertips up, we're getting a similar feeling to when we were lying on the bolster. It creates a lot of space in the torso, the chest. So really breathe into that space. Remember to breathe into the front of the torso and the back of the torso. Don't forget the space behind the heart and the sides. So kind of expand your torso in all directions as you breathe fully here. And then taking a twist, so either left hand or left elbow to the outside of the right knee. If it's the elbow, palms together, look over your shoulder. If it's the hand, reach the right hand back. Really firm the back leg. You can squeeze the left buttock and draw the left heel back. One more breath. And then inhale, see if you can just come back up through that high lunge. You might feel a bit wobbly. And then exhale, take the hands down. And then from here, you can do a full vinyasa if you want to be more dynamic, or just step the right foot back and bring the left foot forward. So, or maybe just pausing downward dog for breath, because some people will be doing the vinyasa. And then we bring the left foot forward between the hands, and same on the other side. So on the ball of the back foot, the right heel is lifted, and just really focus on kind of dropping the tailbone like an anchor and reaching the fingertips dynamically in the opposite direction. Check that the shoulders, even though the fingertips are reaching upwards, the shoulders are drawing down away from the ears. So see if you can find that kind of dual action. You'll feel very stretched in the side body if you find that. Back leg super strong, squeeze the right buttock, draw the right heel back, breathe fully. This kind of circumference, full circle breathing, sides, front, back of the chest. And then exhale into your twist. Right hand to the left, outer left knee, left hand back, or right elbow, palms together. Super strong in that back leg. Breathe as deeply as you can. This is the kind of fiery bit of the practice. One more breath. And then inhale, come back through that high lunge. And then here again, you can choose, you can just step forward to stand, or you can take a vinyasa, or you can come back to downward dog. And we're going to eventually meet standing in Tadasana. So either vinyasa or straight to Tadasana. So we arrive back at the front of the mat. So when you're at Tadasana again, just ground and then step your left foot back again. This time seal the left foot down. So we've got the hips facing forward, left toes in front of the heel, and we're bending that right leg again. Inhale up to warrior one now. Similar thing. It's just opening the chest without doing any big extreme back bend, but super opening. It's like our solar panel is really open here to receive that solar power. Stretch up dynamically through the fingertips, drop down through the tailbone, draw the shoulder blades down the spine towards each other without losing the upward extension of the fingertips. So you should feel like there's space between the ears and the shoulders. Great, come onto the ball of that back foot. So just transition through the high lunge, we've just been there. And then if it's available, without putting the hands down, lower the back knee to the floor. If you need to bring the hands down, do. Take the palms together if you can and really open the chest. Maybe a slight back bend here, taking the fingertips back. We're in Anjaneyasana and looking towards the fingertips behind you, or just fingertips straight up. And then again, twist. Left hand or left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Look behind you. A couple of deep breaths. And then inhale, turn to the front, take the hands back up. And again, you can exhale, tuck the back toe under and just step the left foot forward to join the right, or you can come back through vinyasa or downward dog. So up to you, but we're going to end up standing at Tadasana again. So you either step straight there or you vinyasa to arrive there. Okay, so listen to what's nourishing for you. Once we're all in Tadasana, we step the left foot back, bend the right, we step the right foot back, keep the left leg forward, and the ball, we're on the sole of that right foot, the toes in front of the heel, we're dropping the tailbone, we're bending the left knee, anchoring, rooting down through the right heel now, and then raise the hands. So hips face forward, try and bring that right hip to face forward. So just focus on the deep thoracic or deep chest cavity breathing. First of all, again, that sense of anchoring, dropping your tailbone, reaching in the opposite direction through your fingertips, and then without losing that dynamic upward extension, we draw the shoulder blades together and down the spine. And then we focus on that full, I want to say circumferential breathing. I don't know if that's a word. But breathing to expand the torso to the front, to the back, and to the side, like a circle. Every degree of the circle expands with each inhale. And then come onto the ball of the back foot, lift the heel, and see if without the hands you can lower the right knee down or use the hands if you need. Anjaneyasana, palms together if available. Look up to the hands if available. Maybe take the fingertips back, following the hands with the gaze if that's okay in your back. Breathe deeply into this chest. Beautiful. And then exhale into the twist. Right hand or right elbow to the outside of left knee. Breathe fully, even in the twist. Wonderful. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, looking up. Exhale, plant the hands. And again, choose what's nourishing. Vinyasa if you wish, or tuck the back toe under and just step right foot to join left, look up. Exhale, lower, inhale, up. So kind of half vinyasa. So we come back to Tadasana, either moving through the plank, the upward dog, the downward dog, or skipping that. Just back to Tadasana. Wonderful. Great. And then just turn to face the long edge of your mat. And just take a nice wide stance and have the outer edges of the feet parallel, so toes pointing forward. I'm just going to do a few different prasaritas. So starting with one, prasarita A. So hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back, inhale, look up, exhale, forward fold. When you reach your deepest fold, release the hands to the floor, drop the head. So we're just countering the back bending a little bit now. Stay strong in the legs, stay active in the legs. Feel like you're drawing or sucking up the earth energy up through the soles of the feet. So there's a sense of lifting the inner arches kind of actively without losing the grounding in the toes and the heels. So this is, there's lots of different bandhas, and this is pada bandha, the foot lock, energy lock, where we both press down and suck up at the same time through the feet. Relax the back of the neck, breathe deep. If you're very open, turn the hands the other way, walk them through the legs. One more breath here. Okay, and then bring the hands to the hips, press through the feet, and inhale, come all the way up. We're going to do A, B, C, and D. Okay, if you're feeling dizzy with this up and down, just always take time, maybe skip one. B, we do the same, but we keep the hands on the hips. So really enjoy this inhale as we roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. This is this less is more heart opener, chest opener that we're doing. And then exhale, fold from there, drop the head, relax the back of the neck, but keep the hands on the hips. So the legs have to work a bit harder here. You want, like we did in the standing forward fold, you want your legs to feel like total pillars of support and the feet very active. Again, see if you can find pada bandha, pressing down and sucking up through the center of the foot at the same time. And then the torso can just feel safe to relax and let the crown of the head be heavy. Also connect to your deep core, draw up on the pelvic floor, navel to spine to help the torso get relaxed. One more breath. And then inhale, press through the feet, curling up all the way up. You can just inhale, stretch out through the fingertips, and exhale, release. So you might feel, when we keep going up and down like this, it can really affect some people. You might feel lightheaded. If you need to, just skip, come to sit down, whatever you need. But otherwise, two more. See, we interlace the hands behind the back. The knuckles pointing away from us. Again, we inhale, lift the chest, look up, enjoy that whole front body opener. Exhale, forward fold, bring the hands up and maybe forward, depending how open we are in the shoulders, but keep the knuckles stretching up away and drawing the shoulder blades together. Back of the neck long. This is another one where the legs have to work very hard because there's no hand support. So feel the legs strong, draw up on the kneecaps, draw up on your pelvic floor. Feel Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Pada Bandha, the foot lock. One more breath. Now in this one, we lead with the hands. So we inhale, we use the knuckles to bring us all the way up. We kind of draw back to bring the torso up, and again, release and open. Exhale, bring the hands to the side. If you need to skip the last one, do. Otherwise, we'll go for one more. So when you're ready, bring the hands back to the hips for this one. Prasarita D. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the space behind the heart. Open the solar plexus. Exhale, forward fold. And in D, we release the hands and we take the first two fingers and the thumb around the big toes. And you actually press the tip of the thumb into the tip of the big toes. And then you kind of anchor down, you kind of press actively through the big toe to kind of really anchor those fingertips down into the floor, fingernails down. Drop the head. If you're very open, elbows go wide. Try to not let the shoulders collapse around the ears. So the torso is long and relaxed, the crown of the head dropping, but the shoulders are kind of drawing back towards the waist slightly to create space around the ears. One more deep breath. And then release the toes, bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, come all the way up last time. And exhale to step the feet together and return to that Tadasana. Well done. So we're going to come, we've had quite a yang phase of the class. We're going to finish with that more cooling energy I was talking about at the start, but we'll just do a balance and we'll just do good old tree, one of my favorite yoga postures. So balancing on the left leg first, left hand to hip. When you're ready, pick up the right foot and place it to inner thigh, inner calf. Just don't press the inner knee joint anywhere else is fine. We're going to inner ankle, the toes on the floor. And we'll just do a few variations for those that want to. So just bring the hands to the center of the chest, draw the shoulders back, open. So even here, we're finding that kind of lovely opening of the solar plexus, the chest, by drawing the shoulders back, lifting the space behind the heart. You can stay here. Or inhale, raise the hands above the head. And just keep the palms together and take Kali Mudra, interlacing everything except stretching the index fingers up. So we push down through the sole of the left foot, we reach up through the fingers, and at the same time we're kind of again trying to find that balance between stretching up through fingers without the shoulders clamping against the ears. So the shoulders are drawing down, fingertips drawing up. Now stay here. There is an option to help us open the space behind the heart to bring the hands behind the back and wriggle the fingertips up the spine to take reverse namaste, or holding the opposite elbow. It's always hard when we're balancing to transition. So if it's too much, just stay in the first position. But those who want to can take reverse namaste, use the little finger to press the space behind the heart, just to help us find this front body opening. Okay, and then those in reverse namaste or holding opposite elbows, release, and we'll finish the way we came in. So inhale, bring the palms together above the head. Exhale, bring the hands to the center of the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, release. And don't worry if you wobble, especially when we move different positions in balancing. It's really normal to fall out. So just keep the mind equanimous even if the body wobbles. Okay, so you know what's coming this time, so it should be a little bit easier maybe. Keep strong in the right leg, integral with the hip. Try not to let it sway out to the side as you pick up the left foot. Place it into any position again except the inner right knee joint. Really press the heel into the thigh and resist with the thigh to help suck the right hip joint in. Palms together at the center of the chest, find your steady gaze. Stay here if you wish, drawing the shoulders back, opening the chest. Or inhale, extend up to Kali Mudra, maybe with the other thumb on top if you can work that out. Stay here, really stretching up through fingertips, drawing down through shoulders, rooting down through sole of the foot, or take the hands out wide, bring the hands behind you, and it's like you swim your fingers tips up the spine like two little fishes until they can press together like I'm in a prayer position behind the back. Or you hold your opposite elbow. Open the chest. If you're in reverse namaste, you can literally press the little finger into the space behind the heart. Don't worry if you wobble. Lift that chest. Okay, those in the variation, bring the hands back down out of the bind and inhale, sweep them up above the head again. And then exhale, bring the hands to the center of the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, Tadasana. Well done. Take a moment. We're going to come down to our bellies. We're going to work with this kind of gentle front openers again. Just lie down if you're tired, or one last vinyasa if you wish. Standing at the front of the mat and inhale, taking the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look up, lengthen. Exhale, just come back to downward dog, straight to plank or tabletop, and then lower down onto your belly with the knees on or off the floor. So we've done a lot of vinyasa, so time to come down to the floor and just be a little bit more yin. So come into the Sphinx, one of our we use this a lot in the yin postures, yin classes. For the more yin style, you could have a gap between the toes, you could have the elbows in front of the shoulders if you wish, but still spread the fingertips and kind of draw those shoulders back, shoulder blades down towards each other, down the spine, lifting up through the spine. So always trying to feel loads of space between the ears and shoulders. When we collapse, the space between the ears and the shoulders massively reduces. When we extend and work the back muscles to draw the shoulders back and down, that space increases. The sides of the neck feel long. Breathe into the front body. Now come down if you need, or stay here if you need, or turn the hands out slightly and come a little bit higher for a few more breaths. Keep the pubic bone on the floor, keep those shoulders moving back and down. If the body needs more, remember we're being a bit more yin though, so don't force it. You could bring the hands closer to the hip bones. And my final invitation for those that wish is to bend the knees and lift the feet up and maybe drop the head back a little bit, drawing the shoulders back. This is totally optional. You can also do this in the Sphinx if you're just on the elbows. And then slowly bring the feet back down, lower the front body back down. Just take the forehead onto the back of the hands or take the hands to the side, turn a cheek to the side. But just take some rest here. Okay, so I just want to know, just when you're ready, just bring yourself up. Maybe you want to come back to child's pose actually, just after all that front body opening, just coming back to child's pose. And just take a few breaths with the fingertips stretching out in front of you, hips back and down. Okay. And then from child's pose, just slowly coming up to a kneeling position. We're going to do a modified camel. So this is something I've been doing a lot recently. I'm really enjoying it. It helps me get into the space behind the heart. So rather than doing full camel, instead we start kneeling and we bring the hands behind us onto the floor with the fingertips facing forward. And then it's just like camel, but the hands are further back. So when we're ready, we inhale, we lift the hips forward. You can keep the chin tucked in, or if it feels safe to do so, drop the head back. Feel like you're squeezing a block between the thighs. Press through the hands to lift the space behind the heart. So you'll notice it's less of a kind of hinging feeling on the lower back. There's a small space in the lower back. Couple more breaths if you can. And the legs feel like they're working. And then exhale, slowly lower the hips, bring the chin back to the chest, walk the hands back in, come back to kneel, and just bring the hands onto the thighs for a moment. Just let that settle. Okay, and we're going to do that one more time. If anybody does, like I say, there's invitations for those that want to go deeper today. If you do want to do the full camel instead, you're welcome. But for me, you know, I'm enjoying this half camel. This is just like a different posture. It's a different back bend. So either full camel, if you wish, starting in the high kneel, or this half camel, starting kneeling, and then just come up for 5 breaths when you're ready. Whether you're in full camel or half camel, feel like you're squeezing a block between the thighs, even if there's a gap between the thighs. Drop the head back if it feels okay. Press down through the shins, the tops of the feet. Keep internally rotating, adducting the thighs, so they should feel like they're working hard. Lift the space behind the heart. After 5 breaths or so, lower the hips back down, bring the head forward and back. We just end up back in a kneeling position here, hands on the thighs. So I'd really like us to finish with a bit more of a yin energy. I'll give options in case people are really feeling the fiery energy. But let's just come to a twist, and it should feel quite good after the back bending. Does anybody here not have a yoga bolster or a firm pillow or a firm rolled up blanket? Great. Well done, everybody, for being well equipped. So we're going to take our bolster and we're going to lay it up the middle of the mat. And we're going to do this kind of prone twist. I love this twist. And we'll spend a few minutes each side. So we bring, let's start with the right side. Bring the right hip or upper thigh to the end of the bolster. And it's up to you. You could stack the legs totally, or you could have, I like to just have the left leg, left knee in front of the right knee. You can also place the kind of inner left ankle on that kind of dent on the inner right foot. So just whatever works for you. And then turn to face your bolster, fingertips either side, and see if you can find, you might need to rearrange your hips, see if you can place your navel, your belly button on the center of the bolster, and then lie the front spine up the bolster. And you can just hug the bolster or just turn the palms up. Easiest is to look the same way as your knees, but you might want to spiral the twist up the spine and look away from the knees. A little bit more intense. Okay, so find, you might need to just shuffle around a bit to get comfortable. And this posture does often feel a bit weird at first. It's a bit unusual, but we tend to, like we did at the start, when we're using supports, like more restorative yoga, it takes a while for the body to trust that it's supported, especially if it's not used to being in this position, and soften. So when the body doesn't feel safe and it doesn't trust, it will be tensing, maybe in unconscious ways that you're not even aware of internally. So there's a kind of hardness where the body meets the support. But as it feels safe, it begins to soften, the skin can soften, the muscle tissue softens, and also the mind softens, that mental resistance softens. So that's what we're looking for here, just to increase the feeling of support, of trust, of safety, so that the body can get heavier and softer on its support. So the shoulders start to relax, the arms relax, we unwind tension deep in the body, maybe like as deep as the psoas muscle. As soon as there's any resistance, the psoas muscle clenches, fight or flight, and we probably won't be aware of that. But gradually we spend a few minutes, enough time for these deep internal muscles that are braced whenever we don't feel safe, braced for action. Give ourselves time for these muscles to start to relax and unwind, release chronically held tension. And maybe close the eyes if you haven't already, just soften the breath, notice where you might be holding tension, and relax as best you can. Just take a couple more minutes this side. I've fallen asleep in this posture on more than one occasion. And that's a great sign that the body feels safe when you fall asleep. The jaw is relaxed. Another 30 seconds or so here. Really drop heavier into your support. Relax the belly, soften the belly. Soften the chest muscles. Feel the heavy weight of the head. Relax the back. Okay, so we're going to just think about moving first and then gently move. So we can bring the hands back towards us slightly. Turn to face the floor. So as you come up, your neck's in its neutral place. Walk the hands back in. Just take a moment. And then probably easiest is to just turn away from the bolster and bring the knees the other way. But it doesn't matter what you do. But we want to end up with the bolster against the left hip or left upper thigh. So again, depending on your body proportions, you might need to just find the right place of where the bolster needs to be against your leg or hip. So we frame the bolster with the hands, we're looking at the bolster, and this is where you might need to just move the hips forward or back a bit to try and get the navel as best you can right in the center of the bolster, and lay the front spine up the center of the bolster. And then whatever you did with the head on the other side, do the same on this one. So either look towards the knees if you did last time or away. And again, you choose what feels comfortable for how you stack the legs. I like the right knee just slightly in front of the left knee. So it's a little bit awkward to get into because it is quite a twist in the lower back. So if we've got lower back issues, the body, again, it might just not quite feel safe. It's not used to twisting like this. So just give it time. Focus on the breath. Feel that you're in control. You can move whenever you need. Reassure your body that you're not going to harm it. You're listening. You're present with the feedback. So there's no need for the body to stress. The nervous system can relax. The body feels safe. The jaw releases. Maybe the eyes close. Maybe the breath just starts to come into a different pattern. Maybe you start to come more into autonomic breathing. This can often happen with restorative yoga. The breath just starts to take care of itself, like we do in Shavasana. This is very good. And also, you might wish to retain that breath consciousness, breath awareness, making it more of a meditative posture. So really just see where the posture wants to take you, where your body wants to take you, your breath. Give yourself up to a higher wisdom, the wisdom of your body, of your soul. Feel that softening of the front body. Relaxing that, letting go, that shedding of tension, all layers of your being, energetic, physical, mental, emotional. Only when we start to shed these tensions, these blockages, and all these layers of our being, only then can we start to actually connect to our spiritual self, our soul, our higher self, more easily. Relax. Just want one more minute here, just less than a minute. See if you can drop even heavier. Drop into a deeper layer of your being, deeper layer of trust. Just think about moving before you do. Slide the hands further back towards you. Turn to face the bolster and then press yourself up. Nice and slow. Lovely. We're going to finish on our backs again with chest opener. And I'm going to give you the option, you know, some of you might have loads of energy to burn tonight because it's that solstice time of year, so you can do it all dynamically. But my invitation, and I'll show you both options, is to use the block for a more, this is where I'm at, a more cooling practice. So if you're not using the block, you're going to come to Setu Bandhasana or even towards the wheel if you wish. But those of us using the block, we're going to take it under the sacrum on any of its three heights, middle, high or low. And just make sure it's the sacrum. So it's just above the buttock cleft in my body. And it's lower than you might think. We don't want it to be pressing on the vertebra of the spine. We want it to press on the fused bony plate vertebra at the base of the spine. So it feels like a flat plate meeting the flat plate of the block. So that we can just, again, relax into that support. It should feel stable. If you feel wobbly or unsupported, it's probably too high, possibly too low. So just fiddle around till you find that place where you feel like there's a flat plate of the sacrum just can relax onto the block. And we're just going to stay here for a moment. We're getting a very gentle, passive front body opening. If you're being more dynamic, just take your back bend, go with it wherever you want, maybe 3 rounds, Setu Bandhasana, moving towards Urdhva Dhanasana. Otherwise, we're just going to take just a minute or so here. You could explore, those of you with the sacrum on the block, you could explore what it feels like to straighten the legs. And you can do this with very dynamic legs with the toes pointing straight up, but I like to just actually let the feet flop out to the sides as they naturally seem to want to do, like this abduction, this external rotation of the legs. And I find a nice stretch on the attachment of the psoas, actually, the inner thigh area in the hip groin, upper inner thigh area, which is where the psoas muscle attaches at its bottom end. So, you know, just explore that, or you might prefer toes to the ceiling. You'll get less of an inner thigh opening, but it might just feel better on the front of the hips, hip flexors. So just explore, or just keep the knees bent, feet on the floor. Just taking another maybe minute here. Again, just feeling like what I love about supported postures, restorative yoga, is this sense of discharging nervous energy, just grounding it through my sacrum, grounding it through my feet. So all this kind of zingy, high, ungrounded energy that we collect through the day can just gently leave its own pace. Stuff we don't need, stuff that's not ours, that we've just absorbed, picked up. Stress energy that we've created within ourselves. It just gives us a space to just let some of that unwind, unpick itself from our energy field and just leave. Very calming, grounding, rebalancing. So for the last maybe 30 seconds, if you wish, you could come onto the highest setting if you're not already there. This is just an invitation. You just want to deepen the stretch for the last 30 seconds or so, but make sure you feel stable. If you, by doing that, you immediately don't feel stable, then just come back down, because otherwise you're just going to undo that lovely calming work. We're trying to relax the nervous system here, let the body feel totally safe and supported. If you've been doing your own back bending practice, make sure you take some kind of counter pose, maybe knees to the chest. So we're going to move into our inversion. If you're on the highest setting, you can stay, but make sure you feel stable. Maybe interlace the hands around the front so you can also kind of hold the block in place with the forearms. Any doubt, come back down to middle or lower. Those of you working dynamically, you can do this dynamically by bringing the heel of the hands either side of the sacrum, fingertips towards the hip bones. We're going to come into Viparita Karani, which is a lovely final chest opener. So I'm just showing you the dynamic version here. Legs come up. You could do one leg at a time if you don't feel safe with two. So if we're on the block, we're going to do exactly the same. Block on the sacrum. You could start with one leg and just see how it feels. Check you trust your block, and then swap and extend the other leg up. So it actually feels quite nice to just do one leg at a time to begin with. But at some point, if you feel safe on the block, just bring both feet up. So just notice we're in this lovely less is more front opener again to finish with the same theme we started with. If you feel stable on the high setting, it can feel really nice, but definitely feels a lot less stable. So don't compromise your feeling of safety. So once the legs are up, if you don't feel secure, just keep doing the one leg lifts. But we're looking to take 10 breaths with the legs up. So if you're doing one leg, make sure you do kind of 5 breaths each or 8 breaths on each side, just to give ourselves enough time to let the blood flow down the legs the other way. Try not to move the head side to side like I just did. Just look up to the ceiling. Do as I say, not as I do. So protect the neck. And just like we started, just breathe into the front body. We are opening the thymus, the solar plexus, the chest here. Fully expand the area with the breath. And when you feel like you've done enough breaths, if you feel safe to do so, double leg lower or single leg lower, bring the feet down. If you're on the block, just lift the hips to take the block away, lay the spine back down onto the floor, shrug the shoulders back, make sure the whole of the skin of the back is supported by the floor. And we're ready for Shavasana, but if you just, that was a little bit of a back bend, so if you just need a little counter pose, maybe hug the knees into the chest, maybe take a happy baby. So just one final closing posture of your choice here, or straight to Shavasana if you're ready. I would probably recommend some kind of neutralizing posture here. And then when you feel ready, stretch out, Shavasana. Check your central alignment. And just before we totally drop away, just notice how you feel. We've had a kind of gentle but powerful, and oh, it wasn't always gentle, was it? Let's face it, 8 sun salutations. We've had a bit of yang and a bit of yin. So just see how the body's feeling, the mind, the energy field. And then just have this sense of receptivity, this openness to receive the fruits of the practice, to receive the nourishment of the peak solar power that's available to us at this time. We just become receivers for all our good. And like we were practicing in the restorative postures, just really heavy and soften the body into the support of the floor beneath you. Relax. Relax. And just begin to deepen the breath. Come back to body awareness. Small movements back. Take any stretches that feel good. Or staying longer if you need, of course. In Shavasana. You're closing with me. Just gently, in your own time, returning to seated. And close together. Just taking a moment, maybe palms together, that mudra of gratitude. This is really a time of year to feel gratitude for life, the life force, solar power, your own inner power. And also just remembering that theme of today, that even if you can't see the sun, it's always shining on you. So just to keep the faith through the cloudy times and to still open to receive the nourishment that's there for you, even when it's not so obvious. Just whenever you're ready, just opening the eyes again. Thank you all. Namaste. Thank you for lifting my energy this evening. I feel totally different on the other side of the cloud.